Hey Troop 899, Scoutmaster Adam here with a video about summer camp. I know this can be an anxious time for both scouts and parents as you guys get ready to set up and send your scout away for a week with us, but hopefully what I'm going to cover here gives you a little bit more information on what you should be packing, what you should be expecting, a little bit more about the drop-off process as well as the pickup process. So a good bit of information here for you. If you hang out for a little bit with me, I'll walk you through packing lists and some tips and suggestions and all the different things that we can make this trip successful with. So let's start with the tents. Camp Hours provides tents. Each tent will house 2 scouts. They're just a standard metal frame tent on top of a platform. The tents actually have a cot put in them for the scouts, so you don't have to worry about a tent. A little bit more information for those scouts that are taking Trail to Adventure later on, but the tents are provided. Next up is something that the scouts need to pack their gear in. It can be just a Rubbermaid box, or I use a Tote Locker with Solomon and myself. We picked up the Tote Lockers for about $20 from Walmart. We've used them for several years. They're absolutely perfect for keeping stuff dry and organized. Next up is the Scout uniform. This is an absolute must have all current rank patches and other patches sewn on. Scout uniforms will be worn every single day at camp. All right, next up is clothing. So we're going to be there from Sunday to Saturday, so they'll need to wear the outfit that they come in, and they'll need a minimum of 6 other outfits. I'm going to recommend that, shirt and shorts for every single day, plus a couple of extra outfits. Guarantee we're going to get rained on, guarantee they're going to get wet. So a couple of extra outfits would be a good idea. I'm also going to recommend 1 pair of pants, just in case it gets cool, as well as a long sleeve shirt. Pajamas, I would recommend enough underwear to get them through the week with a couple of extra pairs. But then when it comes to socks, I'm going to recommend at least 10 pairs of socks. The reason for that is, again, their feet are going to get wet. And, if we can keep their feet at least on the dry side, the week will be a lot better for them. So lots of socks. They'll need swim trunks. I recommend a dark color swim trunks because the tannin will color them from the lake. A couple of towels, things like that. Scouts should also have a laundry bag to put all their dirty clothes in. I recommend that they bring at least 2 pairs of sneakers. Again, a pair is going to get wet. They're going to want to keep their feet dry. And then also a pair of shower shoes. We use Crocs in our house, but flip-flops would be fine. They're going to want a hat. They're going to want sunglasses. Things to keep the sun out of their eyes and the heat off of their face. Next up is rain gear. This is super important. They can use disposable rain ponchos that you can get for 50 cents at Walmart, but they've got to have something for rain gear. All right, so this is Scout Camp does have a classroom element to it, so they're going to want a book bag. They're going to want to bring a couple of notebooks and some writing utensils. They're definitely going to want to bring their scout book, especially for our new scouts going through Trail to Adventure. They will absolutely need a watch. It is the scouts' responsibility to get where they need to be on time, and while we will help them, they need to have a watch. It will also help them if they have an alarm to wake up in the morning. All right, let's talk about toiletries next. Deodorant, shampoo, soap, toothbrush, toothpaste, hand sanitizer. I'm also going to recommend that they bring some chapstick to help their lips in case their face gets sunburned. And then last but certainly not least, I'm going to highly recommend that you get something called Body Glide for them. Their skin is going to chafe under their arms, in between their legs, on their bottom. It's going to be horribly uncomfortable because of the heat if they don't have something like this. Body Glide helps relieve that when it does happen, and if they're smart about wearing it the whole time, it helps prevent it from happening. You can get it for $10 at Dick's Sporting Goods. Okay, they're also going to need a sleeping bag just to keep them warm on cooler nights if we have them, or you could use blankets. The other thing I would recommend is some kind of a foam pad or a inflatable mattress to put on top of the cot just to make their sleeping a little more comfortable. They're going on a flashlight. Make sure you bring extra batteries. The batteries are going to be important. The other things that you're going to want is sunscreen and bug spray. I recommend something that's a sprayable kind, make it easier for them. They're going to need a chair. We're going to have some downtime around camp. Maybe send them with a book, something that they can burn some of their downtime with. I would also recommend that you send them with some cash. And the reason for that is there's actually a camp store where they can buy slushies, they can buy a couple of other things. Solomon one year bought a portable or a travel bocce ball set, so a little bit of cash would be ideal. All right, new scouts taking the Trail to Adventure classes, you need to bring a backpack and a tent. The reason for this is part of that Trail to Adventure class is you actually go off on your own one night of the week. You set up a tent, you stay in the tent, and then you come back the next morning. So you'll need a tent and a backpack. All right, so that covers just about everything the scouts need to pack. I've gone ahead and put up a list on Facebook, and I'll send it out via email also. But let's talk a little bit about the process of getting there. It takes us about 2 hours to get there from the Kroger to the camp. To make this a little bit easier, we're actually going to meet at the CVS in Elizabethtown at 1 o'clock in the afternoon on that Sunday, just to make everybody, go into camp all at the same time. So we're going to meet at the CVS. Mr. Chris is actually going to lead a caravan from the CVS to the camp. This is what the campsite, or the camp actually looks like. Now when you arrive, this is where you're going to go. You're going to follow Mr. Chris. He's going to take everybody to the camp office or the administration building. And from there, we actually find out where we get to go into the camp, or where our campers are going to be setting up. And then from there, it's essentially you drop your scout off, you unload their stuff, and then they go off on their tour. Now, all of this is going to feel incredibly rushed, and you're going to feel like they just were abandoned there and things like that. But that's unfortunately just kind of how the day has to work. They've got a lot going on this afternoon, or that Sunday afternoon. And essentially, you're kind of out of it until Saturday of the end of the week, where you come in and pick them up around 10 o'clock in the morning. So it's going to feel abrupt. It's going to feel rushed. It's going to feel awkward, but that's just how it happens. The scouts are going to be excited. They're going to be ready to say goodbye anyway. So just be prepared that the drop-off process is chaotic, rushed, and it's going to be a little uncomfortable for the parents. So I hope that gives you at least a little understanding of what to pack, what to expect. If you have questions, please leave a comment in the comment section or send me an email. I will respond to everybody. If you need to call me and talk something through, please do. I'd be happy to chat with you. This will be the third year Solomon's gone to camp. I've been to camp personally several times, so I understand the process. I understand that it's nerve-wracking, but we do want to make this as an enjoyable experience as we possibly can for the boys, as at least stressful as possible for the parents. So if there's anything out there that I missed, or questions that I haven't answered, please let me know. I want to help any way that I can. Look forward to spending the week with your scout. Thank you.